Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and the inventor of the CTKS method and Borsog trading. If you're new, a very warm welcome, and welcome back KS family. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth and positive excellence in the process. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, as well as the stock market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass and the tax software I use. Please seek out an ambassador to get 80% off the CTKS Masterclass. And you can also apply for a CTKS Partial Masterclass Scholarship. The link is also in the description of this video. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently up 1.92% to 19,275, and look at XRP go, up 19.9%. Ethereum is up 1.14% to 1328, and Algo up 15.31%. It's been a pretty intense week, and it's not over. We've seen global central banks follow the Fed's lead, and as a result, we've seen yields absolutely spike. The federal funds rate prediction in April of 2023 is currently 4.645%. The Nasdaq was not happy, but we saw Bitcoin put in a bit of a local bottom, put in a bit of a bounce. But can it continue? Inflation is a global problem. That's why the world's central banks are raising rates. And we can see elevated global inflation expectations. And the pace of these rate changes is not dropping off. In fact, in about 41 days, on the 2nd of November, the markets are registering a 69.7% probability of yet another 75 basis point increase in the federal funds rate. Maintaining price stability is a critical goal for central banks, and we can see the 10-year break-even inflation rate came down in the past trading session, and the 5-year also came down. But what we're actually witnessing is weakness in the Nasdaq and some degree of strength in the crypto market. And Masterclass students, you'll receive my live chart in TM4. We're also witnessing geopolitical instability, and that always filters through to prices in main markets. When rates increase, people have less money to actually spend on investments, crypto, real estate, and other things. And there are new sanctions heading towards Russia. And also, there are a lot of economic woes. There's a lot happening in the Russia-Ukraine war, and if the reservists are called in, and forced referendums are held within the 4 captured Ukrainian regions, that's actually a military tactic, whereby those 4 regions would become part of Russia and Ukraine would be attacking Russia. And therefore, Russia thinks that it would have the option to use nuclear weapons on Ukraine, which it invaded. That's why we're getting articles like this in the press. Russia threatens a nuclear response. And in response, the United Nations is trying to bring the world back from the brink of World War III. Threats of nuclear war from Vladimir Putin are nothing new. When Russia invaded Ukraine, there was a massive sell-off in the Russian stock market. Because of the latest actions, we're getting a massive sell-off in Russia's market again. And the Chinese market continues to look quite weak. So we can see around the world there's a little bit of instability, and we've just lost another level of support on the all-country world index. And when we look at the current price of the S&P 500 versus the 9 sell-offs and recoveries of the S&P 500 since 1966, we can see we could actually come out of this is a midterm election year. There are already talks of a soft landing. Some say that a soft landing is possible, but it might be difficult. And in midterm election years, we can get some weakness around the current months and a recovery in towards the end of the year. What did we see in the last trading session? It's pretty apparent that the Nasdaq lost its support. It was coming up to 2 levels of resistance and it just couldn't get through those resistance levels. We've seen bond prices climactically fall down. Bond yields just rise up very, very dramatically, and the DXY is seeking to go higher. Gold is relatively flattening out and oil is still under pressure, but risk is coming out of the economic system. One thing that's really good to keep in mind is the impact of the DXY on markets. This little meme summarizes it quite well. Looking at the long-term structure of the DXY, we can see, and it's very, very apparent, that we've passed through multiple levels of resistance. Those previous resistance levels are acting as support levels now. So when we look at the DXY, we know we've got a lot of support at the 110.936 mark, 110.814 and 110.718. And these have been retested and resumed off of. And there's lighter resistance levels above, the first one playing in at 111.672. So the probability is that the DXY can go higher because it has so much support. But always remember, price is always moving in a wave. It doesn't go straight up and it doesn't go straight down. It waves up and waves down. And when we look at the S&P 500, we can see that there are multiple levels of support below. But as we can also see, we fell through literally an air gap here. And when we have these air gaps, that means the price can move quite violently. And we saw a rejection from that when the Fed meeting came out, or the FOMC 75 basis point increase was put on the table. Now, what do we see here? Do we see a potential bottoming action? We have to just look at so many charts to understand a single chart in front of you. And these SLs, or Stanfield levels, they're all about the market structure inherent underneath this specific asset class. Just as the DXY is above several very, very strong support levels, once resistance, now support, we can see that gold is currently under a strong resistance level, playing out at 1682.70. If gold can push through this 1682 level, and it's hit it many times, first, second, third, fourth, fifth time, and there's a lot of little ones as well, so it's tested this particular resistance line 5 times. That doesn't actually go well for gold. We know that we can only control our trades, our investments, and the market controls the return. That's why we do our Borsog codes each and every day. We understand and make an estimate. In the next 24 hours, will the market go down, go flat, or go up? What's the probability the price could move against us, go nowhere, or go for us? And how confident do we feel in the market? How synchronized are we with the market? We saw an incredible whipsaw day on the FOMC meeting, and we also said that max pain was at 19,500. And the probability of price, if it was to actually go along with max pain, would be pointing towards the positive side. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw price moving up very, very strongly. But when we look at max pain today, it's 18,500. With this, we could anticipate the price could actually come down, retest around this particular support level. And Bitcoin is currently trading at 19,206. Another thing to look at is the options expirations on the 30th of September. What we saw is that the max pain price has been dropping from 23,000 down to 22.5, down to 22,000. But there's around 1.86 billion worth of options expiring on that particular date. The key question we have as crypto technical analysts: And the reason why we mark up our charts with the CTKS method and also look beyond the current chart that we're analyzing is the question, does the current market structure of Bitcoin permit a drop to the max pain level of around 18,500, or would it break structure? The answer is we still have a degree of support that's been retested in the past, so we could come down to 18,500, and then we know on the 30th the max pain level is considerably higher. But we must also keep in mind, if we get any further below this Armageddon line, that is very, very unhealthy, because there's literally very little to no support and lots of gaps, and we don't like gaps. And we've seen market participants really defending this Armageddon line. If we actually drop too far below the Armageddon line, we're just going to sink like a brick. Price will move in waves, but the concept is we just don't want to violate the Armageddon line. We want to stay above it. There's a lot of confusion in the market at the moment. We can see the shorts piling in and the longs piling in as well. And in the past hour, there's been 145.46 million in liquidations across 47,847 positions. And over the past 24 hours, 54% of those total liquidations have been short. That explains that upsurge. 12 hours, about 64% short. In the past 4 hours, about, say, 82% short, just rounding up. And in the past hour, about 51% short. So the shorts have been absolutely copying it recently, but the concept is this is just price moving in a wave. It doesn't mean that we've actually repaired technical damage. We can see that we've lost several different support structures here, so we must keep in mind that this could be a retest of the Armageddon line and a resumption down. We do have to be quite cautious at the moment. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think we're going to rally up and that 30th of September max pain is going to come true with higher prices? Or do you think the Armageddon line is just being retested and we're going to resume down? As smart money, we always think about the traffic light, the ANF traffic light. What if price goes against us, goes nowhere, or goes for us? And we consider the going for us last. In the last 24 hours, global crypto market cap has increased 4.07% to $936.61 billion. The greatest gainers have been XRP up 23.11%, Algo up 16.8%, Chiliz up 15.1%, Leo 13.12% up, and Arweave up 10.86%. The greatest losers over the past 24 hours, Lunacy down 3.31%, Ape down 1.72%, LDO down 3.38%, and stablecoins. Looking at the top cryptos and Bitcoin's gravity, we can see Ethereum following Bitcoin's gravity, BNB following Bitcoin's gravity but starting to surge up, starting to show more strength, ADA still in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, and XRP was very under synchronized and is now quite over. Good on you, XRP. This is really good. There's a lot of people getting into XRP because they think and believe and hope that the SEC case will be thrown out and XRP, Ripple, will win. And I certainly hope so too. Solana going up in alignment. Doge following Bitcoin's gravity. DOT a little bit weaker, and Matic a little bit weaker as well. The ADA Vassal hard fork was completed successfully. Good on you, Charles. And looking into next week, we can see NUM, or Numbers Protocol, which unfortunately has been in a bit of a downtrend for the past 12 months, is subject to a liquid delisting. I'd urge you to pay attention to any Coinbase listings. When you have Coinbase listings, you get the Coinbase listing effect, which is a pump in price followed by pretty much a collapse in price. They're really, really good to trade. As a community, we focus on positive excellence, which leads to sustainable fulfillment, meaning, happiness, and success. Positive excellence is all about bringing your best self into the world each and every day through kindness, integrity, decency, and this increases your amount of inner and outer peace. Inner peace and outer peace are the driving forces of fulfillment, meaning, and happiness. But with kindness and decency and integrity comes the requirement for strength and boundaries. I mentioned yesterday that I would read out the comments on boundaries because they're really important. Dreamsex said, "Boundaries are a balancing factor with generosity and the potential for bad actors who employ short-sighted thinking. In other words, boundaries act to protect yourself and others." John said, "Boundaries in life and trading are very important to be able to live and trade with integrity. Taking a loss in a losing investment was one of the biggest boundaries for me in order to change from a passive investor to an active trader." Well done, John. Ivan said, "Boundaries are for me. They are the fences that you must respect. They represent the limits you're not allowed to cross." Thank you, Ivan. And to Meditative. Meditative says, "My favorite saying is that Ken talks very softly but carries a big stick. He has taught us all how to be kind but set boundaries on our kindness. You can give people chances, but there is a limit to the behavior that we will allow. It's worked wonders in my life and protects your energy. It allows you to give to those who are willing to receive and return the favor in kind, and limit or cut off those that are energy drainers." Thank you, Meditative, for your kind words. I always believe that everybody deserves a second chance and even possibly a third chance, but they never deserve a fourth chance. And any third chances require absolutely concrete boundaries, so there can be absolutely no confusion on what is important to you and what you can live with and what you can't. Tales from the Man Cave said, "No kindness without boundaries. In fact, it can be kinder to establish boundaries instead of letting your kindness flow unrestricted until depleted. It's like raising a child that always gets everything it wants. It will never learn that some things have to be earned and respected. That means that boundaries encourage positive behavior in the people around us." Thank you, Tails. Really, really insightful. There are so many incredible comments. I just wish I had the time to read them all out, but we have such an insightful community. It's just an incredibly beautiful global family. And Badger said, "We have to be disciplined and keep boundaries on our actions in trading, position sizing, trading plan, ready, aiming, fire, etc. The markets are chaotic and we must bring order to ourselves." Very brilliant. The market has no rules. We must bring those rules to the game. Well done, Badger. And thank you to Wabi Sabi. Excellent advice, my friend. And to J-Ling, a very, very good comment. And Dan, very, very good. Physical boundaries prevent territorial disputes, and the same can be said for emotional and behavioral boundaries. To let others know where it's acceptable to cross without causing conflict. And thank you too to Jade. And Michael said, "Having done some voluntary counseling work in the past, I've noticed that the tricky thing with boundaries for some people is they don't actually know where their boundaries are. If you don't know what's acceptable for you, then anything is acceptable. And then there are those that seem to go out of their way to cross other people's boundaries, especially those that don't know their own boundaries. In counseling, we used to joke, why did the narcissist cross the road? They thought that was your boundary." And LGRC1 says boundaries are very important for us to remain true. They are a key to happiness. We need to have them very well in place because in some cases people near us will try to make us do certain things or actions that are not in alignment with our own true self. In those cases, we need to explain our point of view with kindness and love and learn to say no. Thank you, my friend. Really, really good share. If you have friends or family who could benefit from positive excellence and what we do each and every day, please introduce them to and by sharing a video. We would love to see them here. We have one of the best communities on YouTube. And well done to everybody who does their Borsog codes. You're going to be rewarded by the market. And a quick shout out to Joe. Thank you very much for your kind words. And to my Aussie friends, have a great long weekend. And to Dinesh, a really good observation. I think it's so incredibly important to share your positive affirmations with our beloved global family because they definitely help. Gianluca had some really good ones. Thank you, my friend. And thank you very much to Oscar. With the recent integration of news articles, you are curating the most comprehensive publicly available crypto log. Thank you, my friend. And if you have anything interesting or something that you would like to share, please feel free to reach out and directly message me on Twitter. That's at StanfieldCan, STANDFIELD, 2 Ds in Stanfield. Let's go hunting for Borsog opportunities. To prime our minds for profitability in the crypto market, we have the CTKS Creed. These are just a series of positive affirmations that you say to yourself. I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities in life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with Borsog. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. And I was thinking for tomorrow's comments, we could talk a little bit about strength. Personal strength and psychological strength is required for success in life. The stronger you are, the more success that you will have, but you don't have to be mean or unkind to be strong. In fact, if you're mean and unkind, the universe will pay you back. Please let me know your thoughts on strength and how it links in with success. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.